Venezuela, a country blessed with the largest proven oil reserves in the world, more than Saudi Arabia, the US, or Canada, should have been unimaginably wealthy. In theory, it could pump oil for centuries without running dry. But instead of prosperity, Venezuela collapsed into one of the world's worst economic disasters. Hyperinflation, empty shelves, mass migration, and a society in freefall. The story begins over a century ago. Oil was discovered in 1914 near Lake Maracaibo. And by the 1920s, foreign companies from the US and Britain had rushed in. The money transformed Venezuela almost overnight. By mid-century, Caracas was a glittering modern city, and Venezuela had become Latin America's richest nation. But beneath the skyscrapers, a dangerous dependency on oil was forming. Unlike other countries that diversified, Venezuela relied almost entirely on crude exports. In the 1970s, the government nationalized the industry and created PDVSA, once a world-class oil company. High oil prices hid the inefficiencies and corruption, but when prices crashed in the 1980s, the economy imploded. Debt soared, poverty spread, and unrest shook the nation. Out of that turmoil rose Hugo Chavez in 1998, promising to use oil wealth for the poor. For a while, it seemed to work, funding free healthcare, education, and subsidies. But Chavez repeated the same mistake. Massive spending without investment. Skilled workers were purged from PDVSA, replaced with loyalists. Oil output began to decline. Then came the 2014 oil crash. With no savings, no diversification, and a crippled oil sector, Venezuela plunged into catastrophe. Chavez was gone, but his successor, Nicolas Maduro, doubled down. He printed money to cover deficits, unleashing one of the worst hyperinflations in modern history, millions of percent. Salaries became worthless. Hunger spread. Millions fled across borders in search of survival. US sanctions in 2017 dealt the final blow. Washington banned Venezuelan oil sales, froze assets, and cut off access to equipment. Production collapsed further, and PDVSA, once the pride of the nation, became a hollow shell riddled with corruption. To survive, Maduro turned to shady deals with China, Russia, Iran, and Cuba, often trading oil at huge discounts, or even bartering it for food and medicine. Shadow fleets of aging tankers secretly moved Venezuelan crude across the oceans. But the money coming in was only a fraction of what once flowed. Meanwhile, the population paid the price. By 2019, nearly every Venezuelan lived in poverty. Hospitals had no medicine. Electricity blackouts swept the country, and hunger became widespread. Refugees poured into neighboring countries, creating one of the largest humanitarian crises in recent history. Today, Venezuela still sits on more oil than anyone else. But its refineries are broken, pipelines leak, and the global market has moved on. Other nations, Brazil, Canada, even tiny Guyana, are expanding oil production with modern infrastructure, while Venezuela struggles to sell its heavy crude at a discount. Unless there is real political reform, foreign investment, and economic diversification, the world's biggest oil treasure will remain a wasted fortune.